What's up, Butterfly Gang? It's your girl Shakeena the Butterfly, and I am here with our second book review. I hope everybody's been wonderful. Thank you guys so much for your support. I really appreciate you guys being here with me on my self-love journey, on my own journey to self-discovery. I really appreciate you guys, so let's get into it. This book is called Facing Codependency, What It Is, Where It Comes From, How It Sabotages Our Lives, by Pia Mellody, with Andrea Wells Miller and J. Keith Miller. So in the book that I did first with is Healing Your Inner Child, this was another suggestion right after that book. I would say you definitely should read the other book first before getting into this, so you kind of is at a point of acceptance when you get this book, because if you jump right into this book, I suggest it's definitely gonna awakening something in you, but it probably wouldn't be as easy if you are it wouldn't be easy if you don't read that book first. So that's what I would suggest. This is also a good book to help you when it comes to mental health issues, compulsive disorder, because they explain codependency. Sorry to hear this, as a mental illness. So, you know, with some mental illnesses, some diseases can be cured with medication. Some only can be cured through self-work, self-evaluation, self-awareness, and real work and whatever it is that you believe in. So this is one of those books. Also, if you have children, I feel like this will be a great book for you if you have children, because this definitely does a good job with explaining how codependency actually starts from birth. Really starts from birth, and it's actually a dysfunctional pattern, because this book also highlights on being mindful of the things you say. Try not to use words that's very judgmental, like good, bad, or evil, or dark, or light. Like those words are like really judgmental words. So we're just saying functional or dysfunctional. So if you grew up in a dysfunctional family, you definitely should get this book as well. So children, dysfunctional family, high intensity trauma, or just being very addictive. If you're a type of person who cannot control your emotions, who always need to use your hands, who don't know how to articulate your words and have conversations or make resolves without using your hands or having an altercation, this is the book for you. If you overreact for everything, this is the book for you. If you're the type of person who use emotional manipulation, this is the book for you. If you have control issues, this is the book for you. If you are addicted to status, this is a book for you. This is a book for anyone who is dealing with being able to make good boundaries, low self-esteem, high sexual intensity trauma, because she does a good job with breaking down what codependency is in like 5 stages, where you have self-esteem, you have difficulty expressing yourself, like if you're not good at talking, or you don't know who you are, or you may wear a lot of different type of identities, or so on and so forth. This is a good book for you. Also, it gets into abuse with children, because a lot of people think that abuse is only like sexual abuse or actually using a weapon or a tool to discipline the children, but it's a lot more deeper than that. It's also emotional abuse, you know, being codependent on your children or accomplishments from your children. If your children don't accomplish something, you feel less than, or you feel like you're not doing enough. Or you could overdo things when it comes to your children, where you overreact, you don't give them room to be themselves, they can't really talk, or you're not there at all to see them. I mean, this book actually hits on all of those things, but it also hits on why you're doing those things. Yes, it's described as a disease because it's you doing competitive things. You're doing it over and over again, expecting a different results. That's insanity. That's mental disorder. I can't talk. I've been a victim, or I'm not going to even say a victim. I haven't been a victim. I have been the villain to that, or I have been tied to that type of trauma or pattern or dysfunction in my life. And I am now doing things actively, working on, you know, correcting those things. And I feel like this book definitely helps you do that. It also get into being like codependent on just trauma bonding with people. Like you only want to be around people that's going through the same thing as you, or went through something as you, because you guys are trauma bonding. That is another form of codependency. Even food. I like to eat, so food can be codependent. It just really gets you, this book really helps you be mindful of the things you're thinking, the things you're doing, how you interact with people, how you interact at work, how you interact with your children. This book helps you with that. Also, controlling your emotions and having realizations. I feel like this book was a book of awareness, being very mindful, being aware that, you know, these are patterns that I definitely have. I'm definitely seeing how I can be codependent on like love and relationships and identities. And now that I'm coming out of these things, I'm seeing how important or how much damage that growing up in dysfunction can do. It's like repetitive generation things. And this book actually breaks the, or brings, I would say, brings a lot of things that may be kept in secret to the light. This book also is a book of awareness that lets you know that you have to address these things. You can't just move on. I think if you're ready to address some of your childhood trauma, whether it was sexual abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, if you're ready to face that head on and really clean up your inner child, I would suggest you do the inner child book and then do this book. And if you have children, I would suggest you get this book too, because it's going to really help you with your hysteria, because a lot of people are overreactors. If you're hysterical, if you make decisions impulsively because you're mad in that moment, you don't take the time to think things through, you could be codependent. And then you also may be a manipulator, because with manipulation and control, that goes hand in hand, because you're gonna manipulate because you're trying to control the outcome to be the way you want it to be. Again, that's neither good nor bad, light or dark. I'm saying it is dysfunction that needs attention. So if you do feel like you have some type of dysfunction, or you feel like you have things that you may need to address, you may need to get down to the why, or because you've been going through your purification phase or your transmutation and your transformation, and you see that codependency may be something, you're clingy, you're obsessive, you always overthink with people, you do not know how to respect boundaries or set boundaries, because this is another thing this book touch on a lot, as well as the last book that I reviewed, boundaries. Not just you having boundaries, but you also doing what you need to do to respect others' boundaries. But if you don't even know how to have boundaries for yourself, how are you going to respect other people's boundaries? And not having boundaries is another sign of codependency, because if you don't have boundaries, you're codependent on the person or the people that you're dealing with to make the decisions for you. And that's not going to make you happy, because they may make a decision that you're not happy with, and now you're just doing it because everybody else is doing something. That makes no sense. Don't be codependent on doing everything because everybody else is doing it. So that's basically what I have. That's it. This book is just a book of awareness about every little thing you need to pay attention to. You need to not have any expectations. You need to be mindful of what you're thinking, what you're saying, the people that you're around, how you're treating your children, how you're treating your partnerships, how you're treating your parents, your mother, your fathers. Be very mindful, and do not be codependent as in you feel like without this, you will be nothing. That's codependency. You need to understand that you can survive alone. You need to take care of yourself alone. If you still can't take care of yourself, you're codependent on someone else doing the work for you or taking care of you. So this book actually show you why it's important to have your own independence, so you do not lose yourself and you do not become something you don't want to be, or just be stuck in dysfunctional situations, cycles, or whatever it is that you want to call it. Again, guys, this book is Facing Codependence. What it is, where it comes from, and how it sabotages our life. And codependence definitely can sabotage our life, because it can either keep someone there or push them away. It can also have you have God complexes, because this book also talks about how you need to separate your spirituality from you being human, and sometimes you could be codependent on just that as well, and it's giving you a God complex, when the truth is we are all human. None of our hands are clean. We are all learning as we go, and we are all broken in different places and need healing in different places, but the one thing we all need is healing. So did I think about everything? Anything else? I got low self-esteem, boundaries, religion, children, sexual abuse, mental abuse, and the dysfunctional families. Okay, so that's everything that this book definitely touches on. Again, this is just a self-awareness book. It's not going to be as deep as Healing Your Inner Child, because I definitely cried that whole book. This book, I didn't cry at all. It was just like, oh, now I didn't know that. I'm aware. let me make some changes, let me make some adjustments. And like I say, it's not going to happen overnight, it's not going to happen in a couple months, but you definitely want to do things that it's going to help you work towards cleaning up some of these compulsive disorders you may have. And maybe you don't even have any of those. Maybe you're just transforming or transitioning from one lifestyle to another. I don't know. But if this helps, then that's good. So again, Facing Codependence, what it is, where it comes from, and how it sabotages our lives. Pia Mellody with Andrea Wells Miller and J. Keith Miller. I am going to put the link to this in the bio, and I will also link the frequency tones that I used while I was reading this book. So thank you guys so much for listening to me. If you like this kind of awareness, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you're not following me on YouTube, please feel free to follow me on Instagram at Shakeena the Butterfly. Thank you so much, loves. Be looking out for our 3rd installment coming soon. I already have that book. I haven't started it. I may take a couple days off then I started, but you guys know it takes me about 2 or 3 weeks to finish a book because I still have my regular life going on. I love you guys so much, and until next time, bye, loves.